Hey, welcome back to Unlicensed and Unbothered. It's Monday, which means a new episode of All That for What? Quick
Yeah.
update though, before we get into it. So last week, I was completely convinced that it was my first day at work. So the day before, I sat down,
Mhm.
like the day before last Wednesday, which is
Mhm.
Tuesday. What the fuck am I saying? Right, okay. We made not one, but two full, like, we made okay, guys, I'm
You made.
so yeah,
You
I
made.
made not one, but like two full lesson plans, right? So I literally spent hours on it, right? I was
Mm.
logging on the couch only to realize the next day, like midway through, when like I did nothing the whole day waiting for it, that my job actually starts this week. So literally all that effort for fuck all.
Dude, that is so fucking funny because you stressed yourself out, girl. You stressed yourself the fuck out. You did what's it called? You did two full lesson plans, which is a lot of work, and you realized you didn't even need it. You're like, come on.
Babe, it's
And
embarrassing.
I know you're disorganized, but I know you're more organized than this.
Guys, no, because I was like, okay, because I got those two, like, you know, the clients last week. So I was like, okay, that means it's next week. And then it said that week starting the 1st of September. And I was like, fuck. Okay. But it literally just ties into what we're talking about today, which is great, which is how often we put so much energy into proving that we've got it all together and showing that we don't need anyone's help. And then you stop and think, right? All that for what? So today's first topic is hyper independence, right? So why do we do it?
Mhm.
Where does it come from?
Mhm.
And how does it really play out?
Yeah, and then we are flipping it to the other side. So it's the comfort of actually letting people in and how much lighter life feels when you actually let yourself lean on others.
Mm. So let's get into it, right? So I wanted to start today with something I think a lot of us carry without realizing it. Just
Mhm.
the idea of hyper independence, because it's that constant urge to prove that you don't need anyone.
Exactly. It's like the voice in your head that's always saying, don't bother anyone else. Like, I'll figure it out by myself. It sounds strong. It's always in your head, but honestly, it becomes exhausting to a point.
Yeah, and you know what? That's what people don't get. You know, the fact that hyper independence doesn't usually come from uh confidence. I'd say it comes from survival. Like maybe you grew up having to depend on yourself because no one else came through for you. Or like
Uh-huh.
maybe you did lean on people and they let you down. So now you think that if I don't ask, I can't be disappointed. I mean, okay, I'll give you guys an example. So when I moved into like student accommodation, right, my first year of university, I brought literally everything. And I mean like I'm not even joking, guys. I know it sounds crazy. I had 100 kg worth of luggage. I had four
Damn.
suitcases. My mum came with me. She was allowed to bring like fucking three sets of clothes. I said, you can buy your outfits there. I need everything. I bought fucking cleaning supplies, like extra bedding, which like stuff I literally didn't even end up using, like toothpaste. Like, sorry, Diva, are you not going to get toothpaste in England? I don't know why. It was just, I bought like lotion. Well, to be fair, I still do bring lotion because I think like the one I get isn't available. But like, it was so stupid because in my head, it was like, if I don't plan for every like possible scenario, no one else is going to have my back because I don't know anyone in England. I'm all alone. So I don't know where to get things. So I'll just pre-plan. And it's
Exactly.
yeah, it's dumb, but it is what it is.
Yeah, right. Honestly, it does become almost addictive. Like you start convincing yourself that handling everything alone is safer than risking rejection. But unfortunately, the downside is that you're basically carrying 100-pound backpack everywhere, and you won't even let anyone even hold one strap for you. So
Mm.
like I remember, right? I was moving into uni, and it was very difficult for me. I had my whole family, which was very helpful for me,
Mhm.
but I didn't let them help me like set up everything. I just want to like just put everything here and leave, right? So
Mm.
that really stressed me out because I forgot how much stuff I packed. I so it was my whole family, my mom, sister, dad, and yeah, and me. So I took 2 bags by myself, full of stuff, like Ziva said, right? Random stuff. But I also knew that I can buy bedding. My mom had to stop me. My mom and dad had to stop me because I was like going to order bedding and stuff. And my dad's like, you can buy stuff in Canada. I'm like, actually, yeah. But taking
It's
everything out
yeah.
and like decorating my room by myself was so exhausting and tired. When my parents were willing to help me, I could have taken the help, but I didn't because I wanted to feel responsible and like an adult. And it was so tiring that I got a panic attack because I was like, because I give myself goals. I'm like, by this
Mhm.
time I'll be done with this. By this time I'll be done with this. And I was not meeting those goals. And in my uni, there's a thing called frosh, right? So by a set time, all the freshmen gather and we go do stuff, right? And I didn't get to do all my stuff like unpacking before that. And the worst thing was one of my bags were missing. So
Oh my god.
I was running around uni trying to find that fucking bag when it was in the same building. They just put it somewhere. And I was asking everyone, like, where's my bag? It was just very stressful. It was just very
Mm.
annoying.
You know what, Nuha? The thing is, when we talked about our situations, we're like, it's stressful, it's scary. But a lot of the times people will literally just cheer you on. Like
Yeah.
they'll be like, "Oh my God, they're so independent. They do it themselves. That's so good for them, Good job, independence, blah, blah." But, you know, a lot of the times this independence that people talk about, it
Mm,
becomes this sort of performance.
yeah.
Like, people they'll clap, they'll cheer you on, but they don't realize that you're clapping through those like it's a weird way to say it, but like those like tears or like that
Mm,
stress, that like lack of sleep, that irritation, exhaustion, like there's so many layers to it.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, let me throw this to you guys, listeners who are listening to this episode. So, how many times have you said, I'm fine? And be honest, because I've said I'm fine like 10,000 times, maybe more, when I'm not actually fine. And obviously, you're not fine. And like, what was your most ridiculous I'm fine moment? So if you want to share it with us, you can message us on TikTok, Instagram, or even submit it to you asked for this. Um, Go click our link in our bio.
I love that. I love that because I feel like we've all done it. We don't want to look like we're struggling.
Yeah.
So I think we like overcompensate
Mm-hmm.
because the idea of hyper independence, I think, is literally just fear in disguise. Like you're afraid of being disappointed. So you never even give people a chance to like come through and like change your mind, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. And the sad part is, by never asking people for help, you also never get proof that maybe, like, honestly, just maybe people can be safe. You start shutting out the possibility that you can actually be supported without needing to be independent. Because we all have the time we're like, oh, I want to be independent. I want to be independent. But sometimes you need help, but you're too scared of asking for help because you've portrayed yourself as Miss or Mr. or whatever, just being an independent person. And yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, because I think the idea of like hyper independence, it's like it's teaching you how to survive, but it doesn't teach you how to live. Like survival is I'll make it to tomorrow. I'll do
Mhm.
the bare minimum because I have to do it. But living is, you know, I'm supported. I'm connected to people, and I think I can finally just exhale and say it's all going to be okay. And you
Yeah.
live for yourself.
Yeah, and this brings us to the flip side, which is the comfort of letting people in.
And it is really a comfort because it's that moment when you finally admit, okay, I can't carry this alone, and you let someone step in, right? So I feel like the weight doesn't just feel lighter. You
Mm-hmm.
feel human again because okay, so for me, this was when I was, going through like depression. It was really, really bad. And I, like loads of people, I'm great at masking things, right? Nuha would be able to agree with me on this.
Oh,
So,
you need a masking queen. I'm here. I can mask for years, and I have.
because it's so easy that a lot of people do it without even like thinking about it, right? But
No, wait, sorry, can I interrupt you there?
yeah, yeah.
It's so psychologically proven. It's actually, in psychology, women tend to mask more than men because women are always told that they're too emotional or not to show emotion. So we tend to mask our emotions way better than men. Because let's be honest, if a man gets sick, all hell breaks loose. But when a woman gets sick, okay, we are sick, but we have shit to do.
Mm, that's
So
that's a really good way to say it. Yeah.
so in psychology, even biology, we women are tend to we are better at masking our emotions and everything. So it's really like harder to diagnose us for ADHD, depression, anxiety, autism because we are masking everything and we also don't know if it's true or not. Like what's real or not, sorry.
Hmm.
Sorry, Diva. I just had to make something clear because
No,
I hate
no, that's so true, right? And right, so what I kept doing was I kept like, just brushing it aside. And then one day, like I broke down. And then from that day, for like a year or so, I had insanely frequent panic attacks, breakdowns. Like it was really bad. Like I used to like I'm not gonna go into detail actually, but it was insanely bad for me. And I had a boyfriend at the time. I was really young. I haven't dated anyone since. I am so, we didn't have a very good breakup, but I am so insanely grateful for him because I was very young and he was genuinely, he was my age, but he supported me and I will forever be grateful to him. And, if any time would be the right time, I would love to like, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't, but I would like to apologize to him because he should not have had to deal with all that being a kid himself. But I digress. I just mean I got therapy, right? And I'm not gonna say it helped me loads, but it did help me some. It,
Mhm.
I, and I can safely say today I am in a much better place. A lot of the time, see, therapy does help, but a lot of the times you need to put in the work because there's only so much help that a therapist can give you because they're supposed to show you the way. You paving that way and following it, that's up to you. And I did. I supported myself. I got better and I'm in a better place today. And it takes time, but I know that people can do it. But that's what I mean. I just mean that like getting some support, not being hyper independent and just opening myself up and being vulnerable did help me. And I felt stronger than ever. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. And honestly, start thinking about this. Like, when was the last time someone came to you for help? Like, did you see them as weak, or did you feel closer to them because they trusted you? So I had this friend. It was freshman year. Um, we were not as close to until this issue happened and until this talk happened. So I am I am a Muslim. I'm close to my religion. I love my religion, but sometimes everyone has their ups and downs with religion, and it's okay. So she was having these ups and downs, and she's like, you know how, like, I need to get closer. Like, I'm finding it really, really hard. And to be honest, at that time, I was also finding it really, really hard to like pray and read the Quran every single day, even though I don't do it, because I also don't do it as much now, because obviously it's not obvious. I have no excuse. I should, but sometimes it's just really, really hard for me. And it was for her too. So I made a plan with her, right? We were kind of leaning on to each other, but her more than me, because I was helping myself too. And I'm like, why don't we pray together? Why don't we recite an ayah together? Why don't we recite like Surah Al-Baqarah together, like one surah a day? And doing that, like praying together, one, we got closer to God, which was very helpful. And we also got closer because we were helping each other, and it just brought up like a really kind friendship towards us. The thing is, we still go out, we still have fun, we still like go to like clubs and dance and stuff, but we make sure that both of us pray. To this day now, I don't live with her anymore. She's on campus and I'm living somewhere else. But we still like make sure, like, hey, come on, did you pray today? And I'm like, oh, do you want to recite the surah today? Or like, even if I'm on campus, I'm like, do you want to pray right now? Like, and we kind of lean on each other like that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that made us very close.
I love that. I love that. And you know, I feel like that's ironic because I feel like we feel like we're burdening people by asking for
Mm,
help, right?
yeah.
But most of the time, I think that people just want to show up. Like a lot of the times, people just need to be given that chance to prove to you that they can be there for you.
Yeah, and honestly, guys, it's not about losing your independence. It's also realizing that interdependence, it doesn't make you feel smaller. It honestly makes your world way bigger.
Because you know what? It's not the phrase that I can't do anything alone. That's, that's not the thing. It's I don't have to do everything alone. And I feel like that shift is so important.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of big sisters go through. So you are not alone, because I also go through this thing where I have to be independent and like care for my a little sibling. But a lot of older sisters understand, like older siblings understand like having to be independent. But yeah, anyway. But also, there's another question I have for you guys. For anyone listening who are still listening, who's the one person you convince yourself you shouldn't lean on, but deep down you honestly probably could have leaned on?
Because, I think that's really good because, how do I say this? Like letting people in
Mm.
isn't really about lightening the load. It's about creating that intimacy. And like that's not just like in a relationship, right? In any sorry, as in like a significant other. I just mean in general. Because it's about saying, like, here's that messy, out of touch, like different version of me that you've never seen, you've never witnessed.
Mhm.
Can you deal with it? And when they
Mhm.
do, that's kind of when that trust becomes real.
And yeah, like here's something even deeper. So, like, when you let those people in, right, you teach them how to let you in too, right? Because vulnerability, people say it's not contagious, but I believe it's contagious, because one person being real gives permission to others to also drop their walls and stop putting up a persona to people.
I think that's because, being strong alone, it'll keep you standing. It'll keep you, you'll be all right. But being stronger together, right? That's what makes life feel better, like feel full, if you
Yeah.
get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So let's end this with the listeners, right? So I'm gonna ask you guys more questions because I love giving you questions to think about. Um, when was the last time you actually asked for help? What's one thing you're carrying right now that would feel easier if you let someone hold even a piece of it? And if you think of anyone, why do you think that is?
Mm,
And honestly, if you want to answer any of those questions or tell us about it, our DMs are open.
I,
Honestly,
yeah.
your DMs are open. You can tell us anything, and you can tell us if we can share it on the podcast or keep it a secret. Keep it between us, and we will.
Even email us. We just like interacting
Like, yeah,
with
we
you
love
all. Sorry.
interacting.
I feel like that's because maybe the bravest thing isn't proving that you can do it all. I think maybe the bravest thing would be admitting that I don't want to do this alone and,
hmm
asking whoever they are, will you stand with me while I go through this? Will you support me? Will you be there for me?
Yeah, yeah. Like whether you've been carrying that, oh, I don't need anyone badge of honor, or you're just starting to realize that letting people in might actually not be as scary as it feels. We hope this conversation gave you something to sit with and realize.
Yeah, because independence, yeah, it'll keep you moving, but that connection, right? That's really what makes that journey feel worth it.
And maybe, honestly, the real flex, ew, but that came into my mind, uh, isn't
Mhm.
proving you can actually survive alone. It's honestly just letting people see you even when you're not holding it all together and trusting that they won't run away when they know the real you, you know?
Yeah, so, like the hundreds of questions we've given you today, think about this one too, right? What's that one thing you could hand off, even just a little? And who's someone that you might finally let in on it, you know?
And if you can't think of anyone, that is okay. That is completely okay. It just means that you got some work to do on why you feel that way. And that's just as important as knowing who you can
Mhm.
lean on.
So we're going to leave you with that.
Because if we keep talking about this, one of us is definitely going to end up oversharing and start crying. And that someone will probably be me.
Real, real. And that is exactly why we are not doing that on a Monday.
No.
Yeah.
But guys, I hope you enjoyed this little episode and please answer all those little questions. And if you have any drama, any decisions that you might regret, situationships, relationships, or just ships that make absolutely zero fucking sense, please tap the link in our bio and submit to US for this. We will roast you, give you advice, tell you if you're right or wrong, and just support you with so much love. And I know you guys want more, don't you?
Relax. We've got you. Join us next time on Unlicensed and Unbothered. Consider this your new addiction. Bye.
Bye. Mwah.
Mwah.